Hey Gunners, welcome to another video where I will be reviewing the massive victory over Porto last night that saw us reach the Champions League quarterfinals for the first time in 14 years. Before I start, I just want to say, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We're trying to get to 500 subs in the next few months and weeks, and I think with you guys' help, we can do it. Before we get into the good bits, I want to look at the ugly parts and basically the saltiness from the Porto manager. I was just so confused seeing that. He blamed Arteta for saying something about a family member. He's apparently done that to both Tuchel and Guardiola. So it probably shows how much of a sore loser he is. His players were calling us a club with 0 Champions League. And I think they deserved what they got. I respected their performance, Porto. They made it really hard for us. And I was really impressed with Pepe. At 41, it shows that why he's a 3-time Champions League winner. But nonetheless, the cockiness of Porto and their players, especially when they said Arsenal wanted to play, we wanted to win, that sort of stuff is unacceptable. And when they came to the Emirates, they tasted every bit of what this football club is about. And I'm happy we even won in the way we did, because it made sure that they had this hope that they could come away with a victory for such a long period of time. But that's enough about Porto and their manager's saltiness. Now let's look at the performance from Arsenal and the things that were really impressive from the victory against Porto. It wouldn't be fair to start the video without praising Martin Odegaard last night. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. A true captain's performance. Everybody has kind of looked at him in the past 2 years and they're like, when is he going to have that proper big performance on a big night to drag the team forward? And I think last night was that night. He played a beautiful assist to Leandro Trossard, who finished it off brilliantly. But the way he unlocked that pass, the way he made the defender off balance is something you can't teach to a player. It shows he can be creative, and he doesn't get enough assists for his creativity. And I think it's down to the players around him to maybe step up a bit, because when Odegaard is on it and you give him the ball in dangerous areas, he will provide without a shadow of a doubt. Even the little bits from Odegaard, making sure the crowd was fully engaged for the full duration of the game. I think we won a corner early on. It was a bit tense after Porto had possession. He got the crowd going. He was riling them up, getting them behind the team, and that really helped in the end, because it was a really difficult game. There was no space there. Porto made it really, really tough. This is the Champions League. You can't walk over teams. And I think us as the Arsenal fans need to realise you cannot walk over teams. And there's going to be many games in the Champions League over the next couple of years that are going to be like this. And we need to accept it. And we need to say we can win in different ways. It's fine to go the full distance sometimes, because this is knockout football. You play to win. You don't play to look pretty or anything like that. And that leads on to my next point of a mental hurdle has been overcome tonight. Arsenal hadn't been in the Champions League quarterfinals for 14 years. That is a ridiculous amount of time for a club of our stature not to be in a quarterfinal. We've been battered in the round of 16 way too many times, and it's easy for a young group of players like ours. If you look at the back line, 23-year-olds are in there. We've got 23-year-old Bukayo Saka on the wing. Declan Rice, 24-25, is one of our leaders, and that's still very, very young. And David Raya, 27, hasn't had any Champions League experience up until now. So when we look at it in that way, this is a huge mental hurdle overcome by the boys. And we have to commend them, because many players can crumble under that sort of pressure. Everybody had pressure on Arsenal to come away with a victory. And if we hadn't, there would have been a lot of backlash, a lot of confidence lost, especially with such a long duration of time without another game. It was crucial we won that. And it's kind of small history made for Arsenal. I know people say we over-celebrate, but that is a little victory, a little bit of history made for our new group of players. And hopefully this is the start of something special in this competition. And that also now leads on to my next point about the penalties. Again, absolutely emphatic penalties from the Gunners. Every one of them that stepped up was brilliant. I do get nervous when I see Bukayo Saka in particular going up to the spot, because he's almost like he's our son, he's our child. Seeing him step up there, seeing him progress to this stage of his career. He carried us through a lot of troubles. in the early Arteta era. So you just want it to go well for him. But when he confidently slotted that ball into the left-hand side, it was just brilliant to see. And from there, I was like, this is going to be our night. We are winning this penalty shootout. But what a performance from David Raya in goal. You need your goalkeeper in a penalty shootout, and David Raya stood up and became a hero. And I think that is really important in one aspect of Raya's Arsenal career, because I think this could be the night against Porto where he built that connection with the fans. The fans finally accepted that you are our number one. We can love you. Because a lot of Arsenal fans are still divided over Ramsdale-Raya debate. But I think these last two games have opened our eyes. Arteta is hardly wrong. And seeing Raya step up to the plate in his Champions League round of 16 debut as well, it must be said, is fantastic. And those penalty saves were not easy. I think one of them, a fingertip off the post, and then a bit of luck. But you need that. Luck is what gets you to the next stage in this competition. Even Pep Guardiola with Manchester City said most of that win against Inter Milan in the final was down to luck, with Lukaku missing those chances and all of that. And he said he wasn't getting lucky in the Champions League, and when that luck is on your side, you can go on to win it. And that's why this win is massive. When the luck is going your way early on, it can last. Overall though, if you look at the individual performances, I think obviously Odegaard, David Raya, fantastic, brilliant. I think they were the two best players on their pitch. But another two players which really did impress me were Ben White and Jakub Kiwior out wide. I think they were defensively solid. Ben as well going forward, always on that overlap. And it was just brilliant to see them. It's not easy to play on Saturday and then play on Tuesday straight away. It is a huge task. But those boys at fullback, for the role they're given, they're really just adjusting to this Arteta role still. It's very early into this system and players are still kind of trying to get used to what Arteta wants. But I think they were really strong. And I think Kiwior in particular, there was a moment which really impressed me when it was offside in the end, but he managed to keep up with the attacker and clear the ball. And, he played to the whistle, and that was crucial. And the crowd from then on, they were fully engaged. They saw what a huge intervention that was from Kiwior, regardless of that offside flag. And I do think that place is his to lose. I think Zinchenko came on. Unfortunately, he had a poor cameo, if we're being honest. So I think Jakub Kiwior, even with Tomiyasu coming back and Timber, he really has solidified his place. And Arsenal fans wanted him to potentially be sold in the January window. But we're now seeing what a top player he is. And he's still only 24. So I think there is more to come from the Polish defender. It would be wrong to end the video without going through who we would want to play next, who I would want to play in the next round. And if I'm being honest, it is tough. You've got so many heavyweights: PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid as well. This is a ridiculously tough draw. And although, you would want to say you want to get either Dortmund or PSV, I feel like Arsenal want and need to play against the big boys. I want Real Madrid, I want PSG, I want Bayern. Give us those teams. We're going to have to play them sooner or later. So let's adjust and get ready to get involved with these big boys, because this is what the Champions League is about. We want heavyweight games. Bukayo Saka was saying it. These were the nights we've been waiting for. Playing in quarterfinals against the biggest teams in Europe, in the world. So I say bring it on, anyone. I feel like this team, this group has the quality to overcome those hurdles. Now, if we look at the time between the Manchester City game and now, there is so much time for our players to recover. I think most of our players that have just returned from injury won't be going on international duty, which is key. Having a fully fit squad and Gabriel Martinelli hopefully back before that clash against Manchester City is monumental. I think that game can literally give us a boost that has never been seen before to go on and win this Premier League title. There's so much to be excited about for us Gunners, and I feel like we've got to keep backing the team, keep supporting the team in those low moments as well, but also in these high moments. Don't listen to the celebration police and enjoy this club, because where we have come from, this journey has been beautiful. and just let's hope it continues for many, many years to come, because at the end of the day, we want to see us competing again with the best teams in the world, and Mikel Arteta has got us doing that again. So we have to say very much a thank you to him. But that's it for now, Gooners. A review of that massive win against Porto in the Champions League, and what I saw and picked out in terms of both performance and mental hurdles overcome. I think it was a really successful night for Arsenal in their season. But that's it for now. Please like, share and subscribe for more.